Right, I said this was probably going to happen. Jaguar is doubling back. They're going to be reviving petrol power. Yep, I said this was going to happen. I've enjoyed covering this here on this channel. I know it's a bit odd covering it on Mr. H Reviews channel rather than my car channel, but the car channel is not for this kind of stuff. This is more commentary based. And it's interesting, you know. They did this bizarre rebrand, which is definitely my wheelhouse here because, you know, it's media. Right, like how you represent yourself as a business, as a brand. I've done a few videos over the years on things like this, and so I've enjoyed chronicling it every single step of the way. And now, what I said is coming true. So they promised to go all in on EV. They were going to abandon completely ICE cars, internal combustion engine. I know that's a bit of a touchy subject right now, ICE, but internal combustion engines. And yeah, they said they're never going to do that again. That's gone. Entirely EV range. And lo and behold, they're going back on it. Because EV is not the future in England, in Britain. It's just not. It can't physically be. There's no infrastructure for it. We have some of the most expensive electricity in the world. Look it up. It's mad what we pay for electricity. And, you know, space is a premium in this country. You guys in the States, you're very, very lucky that the powers that be haven't decided that you need weird little housing estates like we have here in this country where you just have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for basically nothing. You don't really get anything for your money in this country. So EV was never going to be the future. It's kind of a physical impossibility because there is no infrastructure for it. It doesn't mean that EV doesn't have a place in society. Plenty of people love their EV cars. Plenty of people get on well with their EV cars. But it's not something that can be rolled out to the masses. Not yet, anyway. You know, we don't have a society or a culture. We did have. We don't anymore. But we don't have a society and a culture which is conducive to being able to have leads, you know, from a window on a terraced street, for instance. Nowadays, some rando is going to try and rip that out of your car if it's from your living room, you know, to your car, you know, across a pavement. It's just not going to work. So this is fascinating to me. And I thought we would cover it again because I've been chronicling the whole thing here on this channel. So let's get into it, right? This is a report from The Telegraph, but it's over on Yahoo News. There's a hack fee there, guys, if you ever want to, you know, get behind paywalls. Yahoo News typically will aggregate, you know, articles, basically. So JLR, which is Jaguar Land Rover, is exploring plans to develop a new petrol-powered engine after coming under fire over a controversial woke rebrand. And, I mean, this is arguably an ugly vehicle, objectively. It looks ridiculous in person. It is actually ridiculous. It's great for an American road in terms of its size. It's a very, very big vehicle, but it's just not good for... again, our roads in this country are very small. You know, they are very small. They're very narrow roads. Big cars are not built for England and Britain as a whole. But the whole rebrand was bizarre. They basically spat in the face of their older audience, older customers. It was really strange. So the company is reportedly drawing up proposals for a vehicle powered partly by a combustion engine, despite earlier pledges to go all electric. Fascinating stuff. So the new car, which is said to be in the early stages of development, would be classed as a range-extended electric vehicle, which uses a small petrol engine to charge the main battery powering the vehicle. So it's basically a hybrid, right? It's effectively a hybrid car. And I mean, I think, I don't know if I said it here on this channel. I might have done. But I did say that hybrid vehicles make sense, right? They sort of combine the technologies of both, and they make sense to me anyway. If you're trying to push for EV, at least hybrids would be the stepping stone, you know, rather than just going straight to all electric. You'd think that you would get people on hybrid vehicles first, see if the infrastructure catches up, and then roll it out like that. But governments seem to think that they know better than markets, and they've been trying to force this stuff, and it's all a grift. I said this time and time again, and I'll keep saying it. It's all a grift. It's massively a grift, and that's not me being anti, the climate. I think everyone in their right mind wants to breathe clean air. But it is a grift when you have the likes of Porsche, for instance, developing what they call an e-fuel, which is fully emission zero. Right? It's completely man-made. It's emission neutral, and you can run it on internal combustion engines. Right? Like, why aren't we funding that, for instance? Why do we have to push for all electric vehicles when electricity is massively high, the infrastructure doesn't work, and people have to get rid of their cars? There's nefarious things at play there, many layers of nefarious activity. If it was all about the climate, you would be looking to get Porsche's e-fuel rolled out on a mass level, so people didn't have to scrap their vehicles, people could keep their cars and thus drive and be emission zero. Right? That makes a lot more sense to me than fully EV. So, as the article says, whilst these vehicles would still be powered mainly by an electric engine, they are technically not classed as zero emissions under the UK's electric vehicle sales quotas because of the combustion element, according to the Sunday Times. So the move will be viewed as a sign of retrenchment at the car maker, which has struggled with a rebrand of the business away from the traditional Jagman image, which made sense. That image made sense. It worked. I don't know why they went away from it. Super, super dumb. So under its Reimagine program, JLR has been phasing out older Jaguar models with plans to move to a new electric lineup. However, its strategy has faced criticism with an advert for the relaunch in 2024, branded woke. It was woke after it featured a cast of androgynous-looking models, but no cars. It was very, very odd. So basically, they've been defending this strategy ever since, but they have been changing things. Despite their defense, they've been changing things in line with the criticism. So they got rid of the designer. I did a video on that. The CEO stepped down. There's a new CEO. The designer's gone. There's a whole lot of stuff happening, basically. And that new CEO and the designer leaving, as the article notes here, it has fueled questions over the future direction of the company. Because they vowed to sell electric vehicles of all of its luxury brands by 2030. Again, this arbitrary date that was given to us by politicians that don't know their arsehole from their elbows, just trying to force this nonsense into existence. And that's what's happening. You got earlier this month, top executive at Vauxhall, owner Stellantis, Emmanuel Capilano, warned that drivers would be unlikely to buy electric vehicles without significant discounts, which is true. And the discounts don't come from anywhere else but your tax money. It's a subsidised scheme via your tax money. You are paying for it in a roundabout way. The industry is urging Labour government to relax rules aimed at phasing out the sale of new petrol vehicles, by 2030 and hybrids by 2035, amid claims that regulations forcing car makers to sell more EVs means there is no room for profit, which is fair. But JLR has stepped in and said our plans to reinvent Jaguar as an electric-only luxury automotive brand are unchanged. Bollocks. Last month, prototype passenger rides received overwhelmingly positive reactions from global media, and we are looking forward to unveiling the first new electric Jaguar later this year. Well, yeah, bollocks. I mean, if there's rumours that they're going to do a range extender petrol power, you are going back on it. And you know what? More power to you. I mean, I think you should go back on it, because what the fuck is this? So anyway, there you go. I don't have much else to say. Just an update and fascinating stuff. Leave your thoughts down below.